for everything. We have a lot to get to tonight, but before we get to any of it, I want to talk to you, Guillermo, because first of all, I hear you have your Christmas lights still up at your house.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
You know the rule, they can't be up past Super Bowl. That's the law.
Jimmy, but they're beautiful, you know. They're nice.
And secondly, you were on ESPN Deportes yesterday.
That's right, Jimmy, yes. Yes.
Why were you on ESPN Deportes?
Oh, they asked me about the Super Bowl. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? Who is favorite, and who do I choose to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, but why did they ask you that?
Why? I don't have no idea.
Anyway, they asked him, and here's what Guillermo had to say.
Para Guillermo, ¿quién es el favorito? ¿Va a ser Tampa Bay o va a ser el equipo de Patrick Mahomes y los Chiefs?
Oye, para todos es favorito Kansas City, pero para mí yo voy con la leyenda, yo voy con el viejito, yo voy con Tom Brady.
Are you sure you speak Spanish?
Yes, yes.
Because I am now not.
No, I say that I want Tom Brady to win.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you said it better in English, I think, than you did in Spanish. Sunday is Super Bowl 55, which means the Super Bowl at 55 is only 10 years short of being eligible for vaccination. Tampa Bay is the first team in NFL history to host the Super Bowl in their own stadium, but the festivities this year have been scaled down drastically because of the pandemic, which is bad news for the many local strip clubs in Tampa that make a lot of money at this time of year. There are so many strip clubs in Tampa, the ATMs give out $1 bills in Tampa. I used to live in Tampa. I lived there for about a year when I was a radio disc jockey. If you've never been, Tampa is like the Florida of Florida. It's very... The day I moved there, first day I moved in, someone broke into my house and stole my VCR. Next day, they stole my car. And then I got fired and moved back home. But the point is, if someone asks you to be a part of the Q Morning Zoo, say no. Anyway, the stadium in Tampa is only going to be 1/3 full, and the CDC is saying no Super Bowl parties for anyone. They do not want a repeat of what happened after Thanksgiving and Christmas with people gathering. They say no parties, but if you are planning to watch the game with someone else, make it one person and wear one of these.
You want to enjoy the big game with your bros, but COVID protocols sacked your plans. Until now. Score one for safety with the #1 rated virus defense, the COVID-19 Party Helmet. You'll be better protected than Mahomes in the pocket.
It's amazing.
Simply put on the helmet and twist it 180 degrees.
I can't see. It's a little hard to breathe.
The C19 space-age plastic shell has the COVID-blocking strength of 100 masks, completely covering your mouth, nose, and eyes. Party like it's COVID-19 99.
Dude, who's winning?
I don't know. Where's the door? I want to go home.
The COVID-19 Party Helmet. Available wherever backwards antivirus helmets are sold.
I'll be wearing two. The White House right now is reportedly working on a plan to send masks to every American household, which is supply really the problem? I don't think there's a single person in the country who's saying, if I had a mask, I'd wear one. The problem isn't that we don't have masks. The problem is half the country is willing to die to eat meatloaf at Cracker Barrel. 2 weeks ago, President Biden issued a mask mandate requiring Americans to wear masks on federal property and while using public transportation. And now I guess they feel like since they're requiring it, they should send them to us. But I have a better idea, cheaper idea. The White House should team up with Bed Bath & Beyond. Have them print those coupons on masks. 20% off, another problem solved. You're welcome. Here's how they're battling the virus in other countries. This is from a budget committee meeting in India yesterday. Watch the guy on the right side of the screen. He sits down, he takes a swig from his water bottle, but as he takes a swig, he realizes it's not a water bottle, it is hand sanitizer. They call it a Mumbai Mojito, I think. Isn't that what Trump recommended we do like 8 months ago? How does that happen? Did you not find it strange that it was a 3-ounce bottle of water? Ooh, look at this tiny bottle of water. Go. In Washington today, the House voted to remove Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene from the Education and Budget Committees, but not before she made an attempt to defend her attacks on a teenager, David Hogg, who saw his friends and classmates killed at the shooting in Parkland.
I understand how terrible it is because when I was 16 years old in 11th grade, my school was a gun-free school zone, and one of my schoolmates brought guns to school and took our entire school hostage. And that happened right down the hall from my classroom. I know the fear that David Hogg had that day. I know the fear that these kids have.
And yet I still ambushed this teenager and loudly called him names because I am a monster.
I also want to tell you 9/11 absolutely happened. I remember that day crying all day long watching it on the news.
All right, well, so at least now we know 9/11 happened. Can you imagine having to go in front of the House of Representatives to say 9/11 happened? Yeah, we know it happened. You're the crazy one, not us. Klan Mom was in top form. She said her words, these were words of the past, and they do not represent her values now. The past, by the way, was 2018. This woman was tweeting Nutso conspiracy theories as recently as yesterday. But even though she's on video, there are so many videos where she's spreading and giving credibility to QAnon. Now she says it's time to heal.
What shall we do as Americans? Shall we stay divided like this? Will we allow the media that is just as guilty as QAnon of presenting truth and lies to divide us?
That's right. The woman who started impeachment proceedings against Joe Biden the day he took office is calling for unity now. The Congresswoman who wants to execute Nancy Pelosi is right. We need to come together, and the media is just as guilty as QAnon. That's like saying Jell-O is just as guilty as Bill Cosby. It's nonsense. The worst part of this, she's still not been reprimanded in any official way by fellow Republicans in the House. In fact, they gave her a standing ovation yesterday. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them didn't want to stand up for fear they could be targeted by Jewish space lasers. But House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, he's coward number one in this little tap dance they're trying to do. It's really a shame the Golden Globe nominations came out yesterday because he deserves a nomination for this performance, pretending he doesn't know what QAnon is.
I think it would be helpful if you could hear exactly what she told all of us, denouncing QAnon. I don't know if I say it right. I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. Those people who broke into our office and crapped on the walls last month, I never heard of them. You've heard of them. You pander to them. It's Q. It's a letter. You learned it when you were 3. Even the folks at Fox News are playing this game. Sean Hannity last night made a claim that is even more unbelievable than QAnon itself.
I don't know a single conservative or a single Republican, frankly, that even knows what QAnon even is.
Really? Sean doesn't get out much. You know, they keep him in a Wayfair cabinet and roll him in when they need him. Hey, remember the QAnon Shaman, the guy from the Capitol Riots, the guy with the horns and the... Well, he's currently incarcerated, and he claims he didn't eat for 9 straight days because the jail wouldn't provide him with organic food. Usually when a QAnoner doesn't eat for 9 days, it's because his mother's microwave is broken. But this guy says his shamanism, his religion dictates that food with unnatural chemicals are an object intrusion into his body. And if there's one thing this man won't stand for, it's an intrusion. He does not... According to his lawyer, the shaman has come to grasp that fact that former President Trump really didn't love him. That's something. It only took him a month to figure out what Don Jr. and Eric have been wrestling with for years. This is a good sign. This is what we're dealing with these people. This morning on C-SPAN, the host, John McCardle, got this fun phone call from a viewer named John.
John is in Wilmington, Delaware, Republican. John, what are your thoughts?
Well, I support President Trump. I think he's got to get back in there in that White House, and he can't get people like Marjorie Taylor Greene out of office. We need women like her in there. Otherwise, these Democrats are going to keep eating the babies and cutting faces off of them.
Eating the babies and cutting faces off them. What kind of a cooking show is this? But you know, it's all about finding common ground. We haven't heard much from Donald Trump lately because he's not allowed on Twitter, but they can't ban him from the good old U.S. mail. On Tuesday, Trump faces impeachment trial number 2 in the Senate, but this is what he's thinking about. He sent a very Trumpy letter today to SAG-AFTRA, that's the Screen Actors Union. SAG was planning to vote on whether to kick him out, so he decided to beat him to the punch. And before I read this, I want to make it clear, we didn't alter this letter. This is what he really wrote, okay? From the office of Donald J. Trump. Ms. Carteris, that's Gabrielle Carteris from 90210. She's the president of SAG now. I know. It's true. I write to you today regarding the so-called disciplinary committee hearing aimed at revoking my union membership. Who cares? While I'm not familiar with your work, I'm very proud of my work on movies such as Home Alone 2, Zoolander, and Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps, and television shows including The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Saturday Night Live, and of course one of the most successful shows in television history, The Apprentice, to name just a few. I've also greatly helped the cable news television business, said to be a dying platform with not much time left until I got involved in politics, and created thousands of jobs at networks such as MSDNC and Fake News CNN, among many others. Blah, blah, blah. I no longer wish to be associated with your union. As such, this letter is to inform you of my immediate resignation from SAG-AFTRA. You have done nothing for me. And then, so he's now out of the Actors Union. That's too bad. I was positive he was going to be the next James Bond. All right, back to the Super Bowl. A lot of the focus this week has been on Tom Brady. Tom is 43 years old, which is like 100 in football years. 43 is too old to play fantasy football, okay? But Tom Brady is not your typical player. He evokes a lot of emotions, both positive and negative. And tonight we'll focus on the negative. And whatever you think about Tom, you will see here he is a very good sport in an all-Tom Brady edition of Mean Tweets.
Tom Brady seems like the kind of man who doesn't know how to use a wrench. It's kind of true. Hi, I'm Tom Brady, and I'm a crybaby, and I have a butthole in my chin. Butthole? Can we be real for a moment? Is there really anyone you'd rather see dropped in a vat of rendered bacon fat than Tom Brady? Hope everyone has a great Monday, except for Tom Brady. F you, Tom Brady. You. Tom Brady, you suck booty. You ugly. You suck. You throw like a fat lady with a flabby arm and a little girl butt face. Hashtag Tom Brady. Hashtag suck. You suck. Tom Brady, you fat bitch. I hope you cry. I do cry too. You, Tom Brady. I hope this loss depresses you so bad that you hardly have sex with your supermodel wife in your giant mansion. I have no comment to that. You ever listen to Tom Brady speak and think to yourself, this is the personification of an actual butthole taking a I hate Tom Brady so much, but I have no legit reason to. He's a nice guy, but I hope they break his legs. Tom Brady really is a good QB, but he will forever be known as a bitch. You, Tom Brady. I hope your dog eats chocolate and gets really sick and throws up on your sock. That's up.
All right. That's Tom's line, and you crossed it. Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel, and this is the Internet. I made it myself. Hit subscribe if you like it.